morning, students. I think you are studying well, you are doing well. See, what you have to do is see the video completely, whatever minutes that is given. See completely. If you don't understand, again observe it. Write down whatever written on the board in your notebooks. Whatever definitions, what is graph. Yesterday I have told you about the graphs. Plot those graphs, etc. And whatever I have written on the board, you have to write in your notebook and do a separate notebook for science only. And whatever I have written, that you have to write. Yesterday we have seen the uniform velocity time graph for uniform velocity. We have seen the example of a train. The train was moving for 60 kilometers per hour. The example of car, example of train we have seen yesterday. Now one more example is here, velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. Yesterday in that example of train, the train was continuously moving with uniform velocity, means 60 km per hour. Here there is change in velocity. Change in velocity is nothing but the acceleration. The change in velocity is uniform here, means so that motion is called uniformly accelerated motion. You see the table, the time is given in seconds and the distance covered by the car in meters per second. So the time gap, that is for each 5 seconds, that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35, and the car is moving with the speed of, or with the velocity of 8 meter per second, and this is also a uniformly accelerated motion of the car. 8, 16, that is the table of 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48 and 56. So three graphs up till now we have seen. This is the base for the equations which we are going to study in the next periods. So this is the base for calculating or for deriving the expressions or the equations of motion. Now how this is the graph is shown, now we can study here. See, on the x-axis we have taken time in seconds. Scale, how to write scale, etc. I have told you yesterday, and accordingly you have to plot the graph on your graph paper. And on y-axis we have taken the velocity in meters per second. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48 and 56 for each 5 seconds. It is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35, 40, etc. Now you are asked to calculate the distance covered by the car in between 10 and 20 seconds. 10 and 20 seconds I have underlined here with the help of red pen. So in between 10 and 20 seconds the car has covered how much distance, that we have to calculate. There are two methods to calculate this distance covered by the car, or the velocity of the car in between two points which are given, D and C. Now here the velocity is changing for every 5 seconds. So we have to calculate the average velocity of the car in between those time intervals, and also that is 16 and 32, that is the velocity for 16 and 32 meters per second. For that purpose you know how to calculate the average. Add 32 plus 16, 16 plus 32, that is the average velocity of the car, divided by 2. We have taken two numbers, so we have to calculate, divide it by 2. So 16 plus 32, that is equal to 48, divided by 2, that is 24 meter per second. That is the average velocity of the car in between given time, that is 10 and 20 seconds. Now this is one method to calculate the velocity or average velocity of the car. Then we have to calculate distance covered. So for distance covered we have calculated the average velocity, that is 24 meters per second, and distance covered we have to calculate in between this time interval, means here 5 plus plus 5, that is equal to 10. 5 plus 5 is 10, means time taken is 10 seconds. 24 meter per second multiplied by 10 seconds, and then it will be 240 meters. The distance covered by the car in between that time interval, that is 10 and 20, means 10 seconds, that is 240 meter distance the car has covered. This is one method to calculate the distance covered by the car. Now one more method is there, that is distance covered can be calculated by the area covered by the quadrangle ABCD. ABCD, you can see the points on the graph. The area covered by the quadrangle ABCD, that is the distance covered by the car. Yesterday we have seen of the example of train. The train covered how much distance in that particular time intervals in 2 hours, that we have studied yesterday. Here that is also the area, that was also the area of rectangle. Here quadrangle is there, ABCD is the quadrangle. You have to calculate the area of that quadrangle. How will you calculate area of quadrangle? The area of quadrangle can be calculated by adding the area of rectangle AECD plus area of the triangle ABE. Separately you have to calculate. Now you know the formula of area of rectangle, you know the formula of area of triangle, and calculating area of triangle and area of rectangle, adding those areas, you will get the distance covered by the car. That is shown here. Area of distance covered is equal to area of quadrangle ABCD, and that is equal to area of rectangle AECD plus area of the triangle ABE. Now area of rectangle, length into breadth, that we know, and the area of triangle is half base into height. So length into breadth, length is 8 plus 8 here, that is the length. AD is the length, so 8 plus 8 is 16, and time between, that is the breadth, is 5 plus 5, that is 10, means 16 multiplied by 10 is equal to 160. And then area of the triangle is half base into height, base is AE. AE means again CD and AE, they are equal, so 5 plus 5, that is 10, base is 10, and height is 16 again. 16 to 32, that is 16. 8 plus 8, 16. So half multiplied by 10 multiplied by 16. So 2 cancels this 10, becomes 5, and 5 multiplied by 16 is 80, and 160 plus 80 is equal to 240 meters. Means by this method also we have got the same answer, means here your answer is correct. By calculating in this way, distance covered by the car by taking the average velocity multiplied by the time required, and here by taking the areas of the triangle and rectangle, by adding those areas, we have got the correct answer, that is the area covered by the car is 240 meter according to the area of the quadrangle ABCD. So we have seen the graphical method, different graphical methods are velocity time graph, uniform accelerated motion, etc. These graphs we have seen. So I have told you that is the base for knowing or to know the equations of motions. Those equations were given by Newton. He has given 3 sets of equations, that is 3 equations of motions. And equations of motion, they are according to the graphical method. These equations relate the displacement, velocity, acceleration and time of an object moving along a straight line. Now while deriving these equations, we have to note the symbols. Hereafter for all those equations, whatever numericals we are solving, the symbols are given. We know for initial velocity it is u, small u, final velocity small v, acceleration small a, displacement small s, and time is denoted by t. every time you have to remember what are the symbols there. Now the graph is shown in front of you. What is given there? So there is u and v, in initial velocity u and final velocity is v. The car is moving. The initial velocity of the object is u and final velocity of the object is v. Then you have to calculate the acceleration. You know that acceleration is equal to, that is the change in velocity into time. So u, see u in the graph, u is equal to OD and v is equal to OC. That is, the object has started from u, has gone up to u. So initial velocity is OU and final velocity is OC. Initial velocity u is equal to OD and final velocity v is equal to OC. Now acceleration, that is change in velocity divided by time. Change in velocity you calculate by final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity is OC and initial velocity is OD. A is equal to OC minus OD upon T. Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Now we know very well OC minus OD, OC minus OD, then that is equal to CD. Here you can see OC minus OD, this much has gone from OC, then it will be CD. So as OC minus OD is equal to CD, so A is, acceleration is denoted by A is equal to CD divided by T, and therefore CD is equal to AT. That is equation number 1. So name the equation as equation number 1. Now what we have to do, I have shown before you. Draw a line parallel to y-axis. That line is BE. Suppose y-axis parallel line is BE to y-axis passing through D. This will cross the x-axis at the point E. That point is written on the board. Now next, so we have drawn a line parallel to y-axis passing through B. This will cross the x-axis at the point E. Now next you have to draw a line parallel to x-axis. See, we have drawn parallel lines to x-axis and parallel line to y-axis. X-axis passing through D. It is passing through D. This will cross the line BE at the point A. From the graph we know that now BE on the x-axis, E is on the x-axis. BE is equal to AB plus AE. Now then final velocity V is equal to, here it is V is equal to, you know that CD plus OD. V is equal to CD plus OD, and there, as we know, these are the parallel lines, so AB is equal to CD and AE is equal to OD. V is equal to CD means, here we have seen equation number 1, CD is equal to AT and OD is the initial velocity. OD is equal to U. So CD is equal to AT, OD is equal to U. From equation 1 we have taken CD is equal to AT. So the final velocity V is equal to, by rearranging only, I have written U to this side, AT to this side. V is equal to U plus AT, and this is our first equation of motion that describes velocity and time. This is the first equation of motion and that describes velocity and time. So in that way we have to derive the equation. This is the first equation of motion. Now these equations definitely can be asked for 5 marks for derivation. Out of the three equations we have to study, out of the 3, one equation always be asked in the examination for 5 marks. So prepare well for these equations. Draw the graph, explain all these things, and your 5 marks will be definite. So in that way we have studied the first equation of motion, second equation of motion, and third equation of motion we'll study tomorrow.